Well, I've seen the resurgence of Barney last week, and I have to say I was a little bit disappointed with Simon, although I heard he did have some form of virus, but he looked out of sorts. He might just have peaked too early in the year.
Yeah, he wasn't so well up in Blackpool with that virus, and he's got a little bit of an eye infection. He was saying he's got a little bit of a sty in his eyes at the moment as well, so I doubt that will help him tonight. You would still expect him to win this game, such has been his form over the last 7 or 8 months or so. That run to the final at Alexandra Palace was brilliant when he knocked out Terry Jenkins, James Wade and Raymond van Barneveld with this kind of darts.
It's phenomenal in the World Championships. Incredible performance.
His finishing's unbelievable, Chris, wasn't it? The combination of finishing.
Incredible. Although I think he said it before, that's all he seems to practice is just his finishing.
Yeah, he was taking out 3 dart combinations like they were going out of fashion. He had 2 170s in the tournament, one of them in the final against Phil Taylor. But there was just no problem at all. Simon's girlfriend Jasmine, but he was just unbelievable. It was as if he couldn't miss at times, wasn't it?
Oh, he got the best out of Phil Taylor in the final, that's for sure.
100.
Although the scoreline was a bit of a heavy defeat, it really wasn't that kind of match.
We've seen wins tonight already for Andy Smith, Mark Walsh and Terry Jenkins. Got a bit of news for you actually, Chris. Dave Allen, the PDC's media guru, told me during the interval there that it was at Derby when you lost 6-3 to Terry Jenkins. Do you remember now?
Yeah, I remember.
Are you on there, Chris? Your autograph on the back of there. You must be the only one missing. Whitlock rather, is peppering the treble bed. Well, that's his first maximum. He wasn't far away a couple of visits ago. That leaves 57 after 12 throws.
Yeah, he's come out on the bigger bang in this leg.
Yeah. I mentioned that Dennis has just turned 60. Simon Whitlock's 41 now.
Simon, you require 57.
Requires 57. Double top then for the opening salvo from Simon Whitlock. It's coming down the thick end of an inch. Yeah, no problem.
It surprises me now when he actually does miss a double.
Second leg,
yeah, in the Premier League, he twice had 8 out of 9 checkout ratios, which just absolutely astonishing level of doubling. It used to be, Chris, didn't it? 1 in 3 was okay about 15 years ago. Now you're talking about 1 in 2 being a really good benchmark. Yeah.
Well, it's a bit like the 90 average was the main target. And now it's everyone talks about getting an average over 100.
Yep.
It happens so frequently now.
Yeah, it used to be 10 seconds. Used to be a good time for 100 metres, didn't it? Usain Bolt's talking about running 9.5. So again, in all sports, the bar is going up, and particularly in darts, the standard quite exceptional.
Phil Taylor approaches his 50th birthday. I think he's now in his prime.
Oh, Dennis is in his prime here with this throwing. Oh, beautiful darts from Dennis Priestley. Don't write him off just yet. Over 40 titles, singles titles worldwide, and a host of doubles and pairs and team and trebles and all sorts of titles for Dennis Priestley over his glittering career. And 2 world titles. And don't forget, he beat Phil Taylor in the first PDC World Final back in '94. And Eric Bristow's spotting reminds us that he beat him in the BDO final at the Lakeside. That was back in 1991, as Eric no doubt remembers very well. Yeah, Whitlock's
162. Dennis should require 156.
156 for Dennis. 2 treble 20s. That's one of them.
Well, double 18 for a whopping 156. Just dragged it down, just pulled it inside.
Simon, you require 146.
I went for the 2 treble 19 route to leave double 16. Yep.
92. Dennis, you require 18.
Double 9 then for Dennis Priestley, having hit single 18 with his attempt at a double last time. This to level the match. I'll just brush it in off that. Well, he's got 2 to brush it in off now.
He went for the high side with his second dart.
Simon, you require 54.
Just couldn't find the marker of the first dart.
Could pay the penalty, Chris, though, couldn't he?
Oh, the way this guy finishes. It's just about a marker.
34.
Too much of a kiss down off the
Dennis,
barrel.
you require 18.
We're back to double 9 for Dennis.
Gene himself up there, I think.
Game Sean, the second leg.
Yeah, he's always regarded as one of the game's slowest players, isn't he? But once he actually starts throwing, he's fairly steady. It's that initial preparation period that takes so long for Dennis to get his foot in exactly the right spot on the hockey, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a real grinder. He never gives in. Real tough player. And I think Phil Taylor often says his toughest opponent has been Dennis.
Well, Dennis blames himself, if you like, for creating the monster of Phil Taylor. Oh, that's monstrous darts from Priestley. It's his second match of the match. Because by beating him in that 94 final, it sent Taylor firmly away to the practice board to get himself playing at his very best, and then just persuaded Taylor that he had to keep raising his game to compete and beat people like Priestley.
Well, you could always say if it wasn't for Priestley, Priestley could have been. If it wasn't for Taylor, Priestley would have been a Taylor.
Yeah. Oh, he'd have won plenty of world championships, Dennis, wouldn't he? He has 2, the 2 stars on his chest, indicating as much.
140.
Fierce competitor. He likes using this treble 18.
126.
Well, he wasn't far away from 162 there. And you don't see many 162 scored as a scoring visit, do you?
Way up to the ball.
105. Simon, you require 152.
Another one of Whitlock's specialities. It's top wire.
Tremendous shoot from Whitlock to lead 2 12s if he gets a shot at it, because Dennis Priestley should get at least 1 dart at a double here and possibly 2. Well, 16 double top. So Dennis Priestley for a breaker throw and the early lead.
56. Simon, you require 24.
I think he had a clear view of the double there, he couldn't see it.
2-12, Simon Whitlock missed a couple of darts at the double in the last leg. Unlike him.
Game Sean,
Tidies that one up.
Simon Whitlock.
And then just back in front with the throw, remember.
Dennis to throw first.
Dennis has said that it's in the longer games when he starts to lose a little bit of concentration and get a little bit tired, and the short format gives him a bit of a squeak, but as the matches go on late in the week, he's finding it tougher, Dan, isn't he?
Yeah, the rigours of the Pro Tour takes it out of him a lot, and I think that's why he's wants to scale those down.
46.
I'm sure he's going to continue being involved with the legends and the tour that they do. He'll still be playing plenty of darts, but I just don't think he wants to stand up there for hours on end anymore.
Whitlock's quite happy to stay as long as it takes. Yeah, Dennis Priestley, without question, one of the greatest ambassadors this sport of darts has ever had and will continue to have. And a great run in the Premier League back in 2007 as well. Reached the semis and lost to Phil Taylor. And actually topped the table that year for a few weeks as well, that grinding
100.
circuit. Whitlock making his first appearance in the Europeans, and Priestley has only got to the second round before, and he's lost twice to Ray van Barneveld on the European stage. First round last year and second round the year before, and we'll see Barney later on in the tournament tomorrow night, takes on Andrew Hamilton.
Big match that's going to be. Barney back on form.